Hello everyone, I am so glad you have joined me today. I have this cute one color creation for you, and there were some issues that I ran into that I left in the video so you could see some other ideas because it just didn't work for me, so I had to modify. I also did the inside in the envelope. Join me in the craft room and I'll show you how. Last week I chose Itty Bitty Greetings and Real Red. So I have an idea for a card. We'll see if it works. I'm going to be using specifically Hey Friend from Itty Bitty Greetings. I have a scrap of Whisper White, a scrap of Real Red. I have 2 pieces of Real Red that is 4 by 5 1/4. One is for the outside, one is for the inside. I have a piece of Real Red that is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. Scored at 4 1/4, and I have my envelope. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I am going to stamp my Hey Friend right in the middle of this square. Oh, not dark enough. Flip it over. Better. I was beginning to think I might need to do my card. All right, now I'm going to take my one piece that's for the outside and I'm going to do some scoring to add some interest. So I'm going to pull out my trimmer, and I think I'm going to go at a diagonal. So the first thing I'm going to do is I need to figure out my angle. All right, so I'm going to rest the one end here, and I'm putting the other end here at a 1/2 inch. And I'm just going to score, and these will be inverted score lines. Now I'm going to move it over a 1/4 inch, score again. And I'm scoring several times so I get a nice deep crisp fold. And I'm doing it again, and now I'm to the point where I can take my score line and use it. I'm going to shift it just slightly so that that score line is there and the bottom piece is down here even with this. That'll help keep it straight also. All right, and then I'm going to move this over here, and I'm going to score it again. And I'm going to do it one more time. I just have to get my pieces in. Keeping that corner up there will help hold it too. Okay, there we go. Sometimes people will turn it over so that you see the raised score lines. I'm going to do it this way because I want mine inverted. All right, with this, I am going to cut it down, and I'm going to cut actually, I'm not going to cut it down much, but I also want to cut it so that I get a, how do I say this? Let me see. I want a tag shape, for lack of a better term. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my sides, and I'm going to put it up here, and I'm going to put the edge of the sentiment even with the numbers on the all right, see how I've got the sentiment even with the top of the lines on your cutting tool. All right, so there's that. Let's see, how much space do I have? Just over 3/4 of an inch. I'm just kind of just a little bit more than an inch. Okay, so if I cut this, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set this up to cut at 3/4 of an inch. Nope, too big, too much. How about 1/2 inch? What if I do a 1/2 inch off? I think that's too much. Let's take 1/4 of an inch off. See what that gives me. All right, I can do that. So I'm lining up my sentiment with the edge of my arm, for lack of a better term. All right, there we go. All right, now what I'm going to take and do, again, I'm going to use the top of that. Here's what I need to do. I need to do some measuring. I need to find the middle. All right, I've got my ruler. And this is 1 7/8. So 1/2 inch would be 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7, 1, 2, 3, and the middle. All right, so if I take 1/2 inch and then 1, 2, 3 lines, and in the middle of those 2 lines. So I've got that there, and that's the line before the 1. Is that it? Yep, that's got it. All right. Now what I want to take and do is I'm going to, and I'm using a mechanical pencil. I can't think today. All right, I'm going to mark like 3/8 of an inch on each side. 1, 2, 3. If you have a ruler that has all these little marks, that helps. And I'm going to go down 3/8 inch on this side. So it's 1, 2, 3. And go over here to the edge. 1, 2, 3. All right. Now what I'm going to take and do is I'm going to put these 2 marks in my cutting channel. I'm going to move this up a little. These 2 marks in my cutting channel, and I'm going to come down in the middle of my cardstock so that I'm cutting off, trying to come down on that using that corner. What's going to happen is it's going to mash it instead of cut it. So come down in the middle of your cardstock and then cut down and then up. And that is off. How did that happen? All right, how did I do that? Is that not down? Is that not down 3? Maybe this one wasn't down 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. All right, I need more of an angle. Got to fix it. So that is correct, but it needs to be, how far is it apart? 3. 1, 2. All right, that's off. This one mark was off slightly. So what I'll take and do is I'll put that in there, and I will slide that down a little. And I may be remaking this. All right, again, I'm coming down in the middle. It's still not right. All right, that didn't work, so here's what I'm going to do. Watch this. I cut another piece of paper, And what I'm going to take and do is I'm going to use my one that I messed up on as a pattern. And I'm going to trace this side. Whoops, this side. You got to make sure you trace it correctly. I'm going to flip it over and trace this side. And my corners should match. So let's see if that worked. And then I can just cut on the one straight cut should do it. Better. All right, now all I have to do is stamp it again. But I would rather stamp it again and get it right than for it not to line up. And then I'm going to make my, all right, so I'm going to make sure I have some ink on it and stamp it like so. All right. Now what I need is I need this a little bigger than the red piece, a little bigger. So I'm going to go cut that and I will be back. I cut my red piece 1/4 of an inch bigger. So what I'm going to take and do now is I'm going to use my corners. This may be too big. Let's find out. And I'm just going to use my piece as a pattern. And we'll see if this works. All right. And that works. It's not really going to matter too much. It won't be too noticeable. I can get rid of that because I messed that up. Okay, now what I'm going to take and do is I need a hole punch. All right, I have a small hole punch. I don't know what size this is. There we go. And I've punched a hole. I'm going to take and add some dimensionals to the back. All right, I'm going to put it on the back of this side. And I'm going to put, I think I'm going to put this one on this way. All right. And I'm going to put dimensionals on the bottom. I'm not going to put them on the top. That will have glue dots. So I need to get a glue dot, and then I'm not going to put it over my hole. All right. So I have that, and that's set up. Now, I put those holes in there because if you have ribbon, twine, you can add that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some sequins, rhinestones. I can't think. Sequins would do too, and I'm going to take the bigger one and I'm going to put it right over that hole. And now this is an even number, and you don't want even numbers, so I'm going to go to my smaller ones, and I'm going to take a smaller one and put it here, and then a medium one here, and then another small one here, so that I have some interest. This is now going to be added to my card base. The other thing you can do if you don't want to use score lines, take a ruler and your marker and go in and draw your lines. I would suggest, if you're going to do that and you have a ruler like this that has the lines, is you draw this first one like this, Then flip your ruler around and line up this line and draw your next one, and then you can work your way up to get your lines even. The other thing you could do is, if you wanted both, is draw your line in the middle, a red line in the middle. Let's try that, just so I can show you. Sometimes I come up with these ideas on the cuff, guys. I never know. All right, now you're going to need to use the skinny end of your ruler, and I'm going to stick my head down here because I want to make sure it's in the middle. Oh, there's no ink in that one. The skinny end dries out faster, and I've got a line there, so I've got to make sure I get it lined up. That one's not working. Oh my goodness, don't tell me this isn't going to work. I may have to resort to... Okay. Well, I'm getting there. And that's not working. Let me see if I can use the other tip, if it's really sharp, and just use the tip. There we go. Now you're going to have to be careful, because when you run your, and I'm using this line right here lined up into the groove. When you do this, you're going to put ink on here, so my suggestion would be, after you've done it once, wipe it off. All right, there's that one. I'm going to wipe it off, because if not, what's going to happen when you pull it down your card, you're going to... All right, there we go. Now that I've tried all of mine, now we're going to put this on here. Oh, much better, much better. And there's so little scoring there, and actually the way this is, it'll work. All right, and I'm gonna... so there we go. Not bad. And I did the inside in the envelope. I pulled out a set I had with just a scroll to give it some decoration. If you like my project, make sure you subscribe to my channel using the button below. You don't want to miss any of my videos. I post quite frequently. I also have a Facebook group where I do Facebook Live on Thursday evenings. Head over to Facebook and search Creations in Paper, and make sure you ask to join the group. If you do not have a demonstrator, I would love to be your online demonstrator. Send me a message, and if you need catalogs, I can send them to you. Have a great day.